Let's cook some fish. We went to Adonis, got the fish that was on sale. What you want to do is any grocery store you go to, whatever country you live in, it doesn't matter. Get the fish that is on sale and get the fish that is wild caught. Sometimes, like for example, salmon is only in season from May to July. So you're not going to have it in season all the time. It's okay. Get it frozen. Make sure that it comes from a place that you actually trust. So talk to your fish guy, the guy who gives you fish, and the guy at the deli or wherever you're buying your fish from, the fish market. Ask him. Make sure that the fish are kept in a friendly environment, which is healthy for the fish. And most of the time it is. So our guy at Adonis, we asked him, he said cod and salmon and trout. The fish that we're going to cook today, we're going to cook salmon and cod. And salmon is just like trout. If you have trout, you're going to cook it the same way. Actually, any fish that you cook, you're going to cook it the same way every time. Because fish is very easy to cook. It cooks really, really fast. And you're going to see that. So the first thing you do is you open it up. First thing is going to be cod. Open it up like this. Okay. You could wash it a bit. Mostly these fish are already washed, but you do a little bit of a rinse. Voila. Do a little bit of a rinse. Here's your cod. You throw away packaging. Next, salmon. Same thing. You open it up. You'll notice that salmon has the skin in the back, whereas cod doesn't. Again, you real quick wash it, throw away the packaging. This will not be enough for this. This might be enough for you for the week because there's 3 pieces in here, and that's what you need. You don't need too much. And you'll notice that the fish that we cook are always low in mercury because we don't want mercury poisoning. So 3 to 4 times a week eating fish, amazing. And we know that fish has really good fat, monounsaturated fats, and we want all the omega-3 fatty acids that are in these wild-caught fish because they reduce inflammation, great for testosterone, great to reduce bloating, and also to lose fat. So these are very, very good for testosterone levels. So what do? Let's spice them up. You're going to take all your spices, all spices that you were told to get. You have them ready with you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep them here. I'm going to spice it one by one, and I'm going to just form a chain of spices so it becomes really easy to spice. So let's start with this cod piece. I'm going to turn it around and do the other side as well. And you'll notice that the water that is being preserved here in this fish is just going to become the stew or whatever the fish cooks in when you put it in the stove. So don't worry about it. So that's how much. I'm going to put turmeric. And you notice I'm being very efficient. What I could have done is taken every single spice and done each fish and then taken another spice. That's not efficient. And we want this to be efficient, so that's how much turmeric you put. Next we have coriander. Same thing, feel it out, okay? And look, you want to, if you are someone who comes from an Indian type ancestry, or you're used to eating spices, even if you're white or black or whatever race you are, Chinese, you might be used to eating a lot of spices. So if you are, you feel free to put more spices than I put. I'm putting a medium level of spices that I love, that I'm very used to. This is cilantro. Okay. Both sides. And don't worry about the mess that I'm making. Like, we're going to clean all this up very nicely and your kitchen's going to be spotless very soon. Now, the skin here, we can actually remove it right now. Okay? You'll notice that if I try to remove it, what happens? It kind of like falls apart a bit. And so I don't really remove it. We could remove it. Let's see if we can remove it without like breaking too much. Because usually what I do is I remove the skin while I'm cooking the fish, so it doesn't break apart. Yeah, you'll see. You see how hard it is to remove the skin? You'll see. I'm going to keep it on for now, and when we cook, you're going to see how easy it is that it gets removed. Next, we have oregano. Remember, all these spices, they're antioxidants. Some spices have more antioxidant properties than others. So for example, turmeric, ginger, garlic, these have been studied a lot. There's thousands and thousands of research studies done on these spices. So we know that they have antioxidant properties. Here's cumin next. This is very Indian. I think we call it a bara masala or some shit. My mom calls it that. Okay. Next we have sage. This is Dilip special sage. He got this for us last time and it's quite good. So yeah, so what are antioxidants? You know, I've said this multiple times, I'll say it again. Inflammation is the number one enemy of testosterone. Inflammation is the enemy of muscle. It's the enemy of losing fat. It's the enemy of looking good. Inflammation, that's bloating, that's bitch tits, that's belly, all that's inflammation, and we want to get rid of inflammation. So the way you get rid of inflammation is to destroy free radicals, because free radicals are what cause inflammation in the body. Now, what gets rid of free radicals? This does. Antioxidants that are in the spices, the omega-3 fatty acids that are in these fish. You don't want to put salmon. You don't want to put cinnamon because it's going to make it sweet. Here's oregano. Okay, next thing is tandoori powder. This is very Indian. This is something that is especially good for chicken, but we put it on everything because it's so good. So again, you're just going to marinate. And the reason we're doing this is because we want these spices to stay on these fish. We don't want to just put it on while it's cooking, because then it doesn't actually do the job. It doesn't actually get absorbed into the fish itself. Right now you notice that these spices are they're on the fish and they're going to be interacting with all the other spices, and that's what makes the amazing flavor happen with the food we cook. And that is why we no longer need to eat out, you know, except for cheat days and stuff. We're always eating at home, and it's always really, really good. And don't worry about this mess, okay? Everything will be clean. You're going to go all out, have fun with it. You know, sometimes making a mess is fun, and this is one of those times. Next, I'm doing paprika. Here's paprika right here. Really, really good. This is also a spicy spice. It's actually quite spicy. The one before that was tandoori. Oh, black pepper, yeah. Black pepper. If you don't know, black pepper is what you put in your eggs. Next, we have cayenne pepper, another spicy spice. Cayenne pepper, paprika, tandoori powder. These are the ones that we find spicy, and that's why we put those on here. And we don't put chili powder. I've put chili powder in the past, and chili powder is also good. So if you can't find these in your store and you have chili powder, which is probably the most popular one, then feel free to use that as well. So we have that. Next, we have garlic. So many studies, like 3,000 papers, I believe, have been done. 3,000 studies have been done on garlic. So it's definitely a really good spice. Next, we have pink Himalayan salt, straight from the Himalayas. And the reason we use, and guys, remember, don't use table salt, okay? Table salt is sodium chloride. It has one mineral, and that's sodium chloride. However, if you look at something like pink Himalayan salt, which is, you know, they say it's from the Himalayas, this one right here, it has 42 different minerals. So you're getting a lot of benefit from using this salt. So make sure you use that. That's pink Himalayan salt. And I think that's it. That's our entire... Now what I like to do is we're going to cook it in olive oil. So what I like to do at the very end is take a little olive oil, and before we actually put it in, and remember, these fish have a lot of fat in them. So sometimes fish have so much fat that you don't really need oil to cook anything. We're going to use a little bit of oil today. Now you'll notice that in the previous videos that you've seen, in the other videos, we've used coconut oil and butter. Now today we're going to use olive oil. We don't have coconut oil with us right now. We'd rather use coconut oil or butter. So if you have coconut oil or butter, use that instead. Olive oil you should be using on salads. Olive oil is not something that you should be cooking with, But because it's fish, and we know that fish have fat, which you can basically use to cook them, it's not a huge deal. However, you don't want to necessarily cook with olive oil. And the reason is because olive oil has double bonds in its chemical structure, whereas coconut oil and butter only have single bonds. And because of the double bonded structure of olive oil, it allows it to become unstable and deteriorate when they reach higher temperatures. That's why you don't use olive oil for cooking. However, we're going to use it today, and you're going to see how it is. And it's great. You can use it. It's fine. It's just you're going to be using so much of it because you're going to have to keep putting in. It's going to keep getting destroyed, keep becoming unstable. So don't use olive oil for cooking your chicken and your beef. For salmon and other fish, it's okay because there's already so much fat in there for cooking. So next, what do you do?